Hello everyone and welcome back, hope you're having a great day and we're all doing well. So I thought I should make an updated version of my every face reveal in Rainbow Six Siege video, especially since there's been some changes since the last video. I thought, why not make another and an updated one? So before we get into this, all I ask is, if you haven't already, hit that sub button since we're trying to hit 200,000 subscribers, drop a like on this video if you're going to enjoy it, and let's get into this video. Right, let's start off with Kapkan. Although we don't have an in-game headgear which shows Kapkan's face, we actually have a little image back when Finka was released explaining how Finka got her scar, which was actually from training alongside Kapkan and he accidentally sliced her face. And in this we do get to see an illustrated version of what his face looks like, and that's kind of the extent to Kapkan's face we've seen. The only other thing we really have to compare this to is of his key art from Rainbow Six Mobile, where his face is still covered, but we do at least get a better look at the top half of his face. So it does sort of give us a good understanding of what he somewhat looks like. However, to this day, there still isn't an official in-game headgear where he has his full face revealed, and he doesn't appear in any cinematic. Tachanka is another operator who to this day has their face relatively concealed a majority of the time. No major face reveal yet. The best we kind of have is a few headgears which show his eyes, and the cinematic from when the outbreak event happened, he isn't wearing a helmet, so again, you do get a better look at his face, but just like Kapkan, a majority of it is still covered. So I wonder if we will ever get a proper face reveal for Tachanka and Kapkan one day. Next up we have Glaz. This one isn't a mystery. Glaz got a full face reveal in his elite skin, giving us an official proper look at his face which we can use in game, as well as this his key art for Rainbow Six Mobile gets rid of the equipment and favors his face as well. So although we have this in-game headgear which does show his face, that's kind of the only one, and they've not made any of them like this since, which I think if we've already shown his face, maybe give us a few headgears with his face shown as well, rather than it just being the elite one. I think that could be pretty cool. Fuze is in the same case as Glaz, where he actually has had a face reveal headgear. As you can see, I'm using it in game right now. This came with a battle pass many years ago. You can pick this up on the marketplace now. But yeah, this was a proper face reveal for Fuze, the first time we've seen it in game. The only other time we've really seen Fuze's face was in the comic book where he trains with nighthaven. But again, the comic books you can only really see so much. But getting a proper in-game look is always the best in my opinion, and we've gotten that for Fuze. But like I was saying, the same as Glaz, this is the only headgear, so since they've already bitten the bullet and showed off his face, I would like to see more headgears with their faces revealed. IQ is another operator who originally had her face partially hidden, but there has been plenty of headgear since where she has had her face on full view. She's also appeared in a cinematic as well with her face in full view, so yeah, her face isn't a mystery at all, and you've probably already seen it multiple times. Blitz is the exact same. We have an elite skin which shows off his face. There is also an SI headgear as well. He also appeared in one of the cinematics with his face showing. As far as I'm aware, it's only those two headgears, however. Again, I would like to see some more. I sound like a broken record here, but Bandit is pretty much the same as Blitz and IQ, where we got a face reveal alongside his elite skin. He's had like another one with like a Pro League headgear and a few other Battle Pass headgears. He actually also appeared in the very original E3 trailer for Rainbow Six Siege, so his face has actually been out there since the start, but they only properly delved into it when his elite skin came out. Jäger is still yet to show his face in any shape or form. We only ever get tiny things like the slightest glimpse of his eyes underneath the equipment. Still no Jäger face reveal. Well, there is one, but you have to remove all the layers of skin to see it. But no, we don't have an official look at Jäger's face yet. Rook is another operator whose elite skin showcased his face reveal, and also one of the most recent headgears in the game added in Operation Deadly Omens Battle Pass. We have an equipmentless one for his head, and he looks pretty cool. This is after his engagement with Deimos on Emerald Plains, and honestly, I absolutely love this headgear for Rook. Moving over to Doc, this is an operator whose face is shown a lot, especially because he is a very integral operator in the lore, being the leader of the wolfguard squad, so they like to always have his face on display a lot of the time. He's appeared in countless cinematics with his face on display, official artwork, in-game headgears. Doc's face is one of the most utilized when it comes to this stuff. Twitch is of course another operator whose face has never been massively hidden, although it was covered with some equipment, but we've seen her face on plenty of other occasions, especially in her elite skin. Monty is an operator who, although doesn't have an in-game elite skin and hasn't appeared in cinematics, there is a very little bit at the original E3 trailer which does show Monty's face in the same case where it showed Bandit's face. So we actually have technically had Monty's face reveal ever since the beginning of Siege, but they've never really done anything with it, and that's kind of the only time we've ever seen it. There's no headgears, there's no cinematics, it's only this one little image from the original Siege trailer. But yeah, if you didn't know, that's what Monty looks like. Moving over to the FBI ops, a lot of their faces weren't really concealed to begin with, they just kind of had like helmets, hats, or glasses on, but for Thermite, Pulse, Castle, and Ash, we've all had different headgears where they just show their faces without equipment. We've also seen them in multiple cinematics. None of their faces were really hidden from the start, but I'll showcase all the different headgears and stuff where it shows them without goggles, without helmets, just to get a better look at their faces. Moving over to the SAS operators, these were 4 operators who launched all with their faces hidden by masks, but since then, 3 of them have had their faces revealed. We have the one for Thatcher, not only has he appeared in cinematics, the hammer and scalpel one especially, but we also have a few headgears alongside his elite skin and some battle pass ones where he doesn't have his mask on and you can see his face in full view. Smoke is an operator who got his face reveal when he left Rainbow to join Nighthaven, taking his mask off in the car when he was talking to Ella and Callie, and since then we have had an in-game headgear to celebrate this, which looks really cool. Sledge's face has been shown in cinematics as well as headgears, and although it wasn't the elite skin which revealed his face, there are a few headgears which you can now get, a lot of them being on the marketplace since they are older, which does have his face in full view, and like I was saying, he was in some of the CGI cinematics as well as the animated ones as well. And again, I should also mention for a few of these ops which I just talked about, their Rainbow Six mobile counterpart key art usually shows their faces as well, with Thatcher and Sledge being in the same vein. And the only operative on the SAS who doesn't have a face reveal is Mute. We still have hardly seen anything of Mute's face, but based off his name, we do believe that he is sort of a British Asian descent, so I definitely think it would be really cool to get a look at Mute's face, especially with him seemingly coming from an ethnic background. I think that could be a really nice thing. Frost's face was hardly hidden, but we've had ones without some equipment on it just to get a proper look as well. Buck, Valkyrie, and Blackbeard's faces were never really hidden, but we do have some headgears, again without equipment, just to give you that better look at their faces. Same case with Capitao and Kavera. Here's some Kavera headgears where she doesn't have the face paint on, again just to show her face a bit more clearer. It kind of goes for a lot of these operators, so I'm kind of going to skim through them. Here's Echo without any equipment on. I know it's the Yakuza skin, but it's still Echo, he's just dressed up, the face isn't different. Of course, Habana's face has never really been hidden, but here's her without the hood. Same with Jackal, Mira, Legion, Ying, Ella, Zofia, and Dokubi. None of these operators' faces have never really been a mystery, but let's jump over to the next operator, which is Vigil, because he's kind of in a weird situation. He's always had sort of an anonymous vibe to him. In some very early promo arts of this operator, we actually did get to see his face. The quality is never usually the best, but his face was there from the start. You also had one of the animated cinematics, which had his face on display, but again, they aren't a true image of what they look like in game most of the time. But that takes us to Operation Heavy Metal, where we got our first ever face reveal headgear for Vigil, and it's not the worst headgear. I just kind of wish for the first ever face reveal headgear for Vigil, it didn't have like this big hat on. I wish it was just his face. But yeah, Vigil's face has never really been something they massively hid, but it was never something they massively revealed either. But yeah, here's the in-game headgear for Vigil's face now, and hopefully we get more headgear showing his face. Fink is an operator whose face was always seen, but here she is without the headgear equipment on. Lion's face was concealed originally when he released. If you look at the original Outbreak cinematic, they actually had their faces on a document, and Lion's face was completely different to what his face looks like now. That was purely just an early image or something, and they just changed their mind about what they wanted his face to look like, because as you can see, we have a lot of looks of the version of Lion now. His face is shown all the time. It's pretty rare for Lion's face to be hidden these days. There's been multiple in-game headgears. Of course, you have his Leon Kennedy elite skin. Yeah, Lion's face is no mystery. We're gonna speed run a little bit once again. Alibi, Maestro, Maverick, Flash, Kaid, and Nomad. Again, nothing really hidden. Gridlock's face was a default. Mozzie's face was originally hidden, but it was revealed very soon after his release, if we're being honest. He's appeared in cinematics, as well as had multiple headgears showing off his face. Warden's face was not hidden at all, and then we get over to Nook, who, although doesn't have a face reveal in-game as a headgear, we've actually seen her face a few times, especially in some of her artwork, which released alongside her launch. It kind of shows her face quite clearly. We also had the animation where she faces off with Grim and he partially reveals some of her face, and there's also the comic book which followed that, which actually led us to Nook's house, where we do see glimpses of her face. They do still sort of keep her a bit hidden, and you can also see portraits on the wall of like her and her family. So it's like another one of those cases where her face isn't necessarily massively hidden, like we can make it out, but they've not really solidified it as a headgear, at least yet. Goyo, Amaru, Kali, Wamai, Ayana, Oryx, Melissa's faces were all revealed as a standard. Ace's face was somewhat revealed as well, although he did have that mask on, but there's been plenty of headgear since where he has that mask off. And more recently, you're more likely to see Ace without the mask than you are with the mask. Zero, aka Sam Fisher, has of course had his face revealed since the conception of him as a character back in the original Splinter Cell. Aruni, Flores, Thunderbird, Osa, Thorn all have their faces revealed, pretty standard. Izami also has her face partially revealed. She does have the mask on, but then you can sort of like link it up with image of her passport on Harry's board, which has the bottom half of her face revealed, so you can kind of put them together. Sense and Grim have had their faces revealed since the start. Solace being one of the newer operatives, although her face is concealed in game and there isn't a headgear yet, her face has actually been revealed since her release. In the comic books, they happily showed her without her suit on, without the helmet on, and showing her face perfectly normal. So her face has never been a mystery, they've just not made an in-game headgear yet showing it off. Brava, Fenrir, Ram, Tubarao all have had their faces revealed since they've launched. Deimos is an operator whose face in-game is concealed and there isn't a maskless headgear yet, but his face is widely known since he is the ex-Rainbow operative Gerald Morris, so he has appeared in older Rainbow Six titles. He has appeared in the more recent cinematics as well, showing his past and his defection from Rainbow. And based on some of the promotional images for Operation Twin Shells, which shows him, Kure, and Daniel back in their Rainbow days, I assume we're probably going to get more high-res images of these and get a better look at Gerald, probably past and present. And of course, you can see his entire face throughout the comic book for Operation Deadly Omen. Striker and Sentry are quite interesting because we'll probably never get face reveals for them because they are multiple people, if that makes sense. Strikers are Rainbow's new term for the attacking recruits inside of their training system, and Sentries are the terms for their defending recruits. If you look at the comic book for Operation New Blood, you can see Zero is training a bunch of strikers, so there are multiple of them, different ethnicities, genders, body sizes, they're all different people. Now, I will say the two we specifically play as in Rainbow Six Siege as players, the attacker, so Striker, is a British female. I doubt we'll see her face. And Sentry is an American male. So there are two specific versions we play as in game. I doubt we'll see their faces because they aren't important strikers and sentries, they are just examples of them. And of course, the latest operative Scopos is Kura Galanos. Her face isn't hidden at all, and we also get to see her face in the older titles as well. And so everyone, that is my 2024 version of every face reveal in Rainbow Six Siege. Still a few operatives whose faces we are yet to see, especially the three legacy operatives, Mute, Tachanka, and Jäger. I wonder if we'll see them at any point in the future, but yeah, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new. Catch you later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.